Hey guys, Aaron here. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to change the coolant on my 2012 Ford F-350 diesel 6.7 Power Stroke. Now there's a few videos out there and they're pretty good, but I'm going to try to condense all the useful information down into a much shorter video in this one for you. This is the coolant we're going to use. It is Motorcraft's new coolant that is now yellow. It is the VC13G. And this is fully compatible with the older pink stuff, and I do have the pink stuff in mine currently, I believe. I just got this truck, so it's new to me. Don't know when that was done last, so we're gonna go ahead and do it as preventative maintenance. And all we're really gonna need to do the job is right down here. I got some 1/4-inch hose here, which is not required, but might make it cleaner. We have 8 gallons of this stuff. Now this is the already mixed 50-50. I prefer the not already mixed and just add my own water, but that's all they had at the Ford place. And I'm gonna use this little tool here that is going to create a vacuum and put the fluid back into the car. Also not a requirement, but makes it so you don't have to bleed it. A couple buckets to drain it, and in that box are just 6 more gallons of this stuff. And of course, I'm gonna need an air compressor to use that vacuum tool, but like I said, you don't have to do that. So there are 2 radiators in this system. They're just stacked one in front of each other in the grill there, and you probably know that there are 2 separate tanks. This one right here is the overflow tank for one of the radiators. This one right here is one for the second one. So when we drain and fill, we're gonna have to do it twice. There are 2 separate systems. Luckily, Ford has made it super easy just to do this when it is on the ground. I have mine on a lift because, as you'll see later, I have a leak down here that I'm going to have to fix. But if you just come right down here behind your wheel well and drop underneath the car, with the car still on the ground, you can look straight up here and you can see this petcock that is at the corner of your front radiator. And there's a little knob right here that all you do is twist that and fluid starts draining out. So without this tube, it does drop pretty straight down where you can just put a bucket right under it, but I'm gonna show you how to make it even neater with this. So back here on the ground, looking straight up, if you have some tube like this, you can stick it right over the little drain. All right, this is first time I've put this tube on, so it's gonna be a little tight. And again, I got 1/4-inch. All right, it's on there good enough. And with that, you can see that it reaches all the way straight down, almost touching the ground. So if we just slide a bucket right under here, this will go right into it, and it will drain right into our bucket. We don't have to worry about drips. So before draining, the first thing we're gonna do is just remove these caps. And that's just going to help it drain down faster. And then we're gonna do the same thing with this cap. Just twist it 90 degrees and lift it off. And of course, make sure the car is not hot when you do this, because it is under pressure and there is hot liquid in there. All right. And before we drain, you can see that the pink is what the current coolant is, and it is right at the bottom of our fill line. And for this one, you can see that it is also in the middle range of our cold fill range. So you want it to be between this and this top piece here. You can barely see some pink in there. So with our bucket in place, all you have to do is reach up here and turn this. So we're just gonna turn this to open the valve and let it bleed out. Sometimes you can do it by hand, sometimes it's really stuck on there. All right, and in my case, it's pretty stuck, so we can just use an optional wrench. So what I'm gonna do is just use this little baby pair of pliers so that I can get up here and get some more leverage on it and just get it started with that. Now I can actually turn it by hand some, and you can see the coolant already coming out. So I'd still like to get it open a little bit more. And we're just gonna let this all drain out. And just as you might expect, the expansion tank on this side of the car corresponds to the drain on the same side of the car. All right, while that one's draining, over here on the other side, you can see the two radiators. This is the rear one that we're draining now. This is the front one, and up here you can see that little spout where it's gonna come out, and the petcock is right around the corner of it in the same location. Now this one is a little more important that you want to use a hose, because if it drips straight down, it's gonna land up here and make a mess. So that's when your tubing is gonna come in really handy. Whereas on the other side, if you didn't have tubing, it would drop straight down and you could catch it in a bucket. So next time I do this, I'm gonna put the tubing over here, I think first, and drain this side. And then that other side, I could just drain without the tubing. So while it's draining, let's talk about our options a little bit. You can just drain these two radiators. Some people like to close those plugs again, fill this thing up with distilled water, drive it around, do the same process to flush it and get all of the coolant that is still in the engine block and other places out. The other option is to remove your block heater, and you can drain coolant out that way, or there's a little actual drain screw plug right next to it. That option is pretty difficult from what I've seen. My option is going to be number 3, and you know what? I'm just going to leave that extra 10% of coolant that's in there in the vehicle. Just put the new coolant in since it mixes fine with it, and I'm just going to do coolant changes a little more often, but I'm not going to spend all of the time going to do that. So it's going to be a quick job to do, and I'm going to save 50% of the time just not getting out a little bit more of the coolant. If you're a perfectionist and feel like you need to get all of it out, I'll go ahead and show you where those drain locations are. And this side is just finishing up, fits perfectly into a 5-gallon bucket. So if you look through here, you can actually see what you have to turn. And for me, the easiest way to get to that was to just take some channel locks, stick them through the front, and then I could reach them back. Just get back just far enough to grab that guy. And give it just enough of a turn to get it started. All right, I had to fight with that one a lot. Used one of these, reached through here, reached up through here, different angles. Finally wiggled it back and forth enough to get it to start draining. So that one is no joke. Jackpot, there we go. All right, we're gonna let this drain. It's probably been about 15 minutes of draining and it's just about done. Looks like we have over 2 gallons out of this side. Now's a good time to look under the car for any leaks or issues, and I've already spotted a leak right here out of this little part. So I have coolant leaking here, so I'm gonna pull this connection off and replace that piece. So we'll see how much more coolant you can get if you want to disconnect it from here. All right, we'll get a nice little shower down here. That'll be a fun little cleanup. All right, all cleaned up. That was a lot of fun. All right, this vacuum filler kit comes with a bunch of these little attachments, and we're gonna start out with the 40mm one, and this piece right here with the gauge. And we'll do the big expansion tank first. These things are to make a nice airtight seal in your tank, and that one fits in really snugly. And you simply make sure that that piece is loosened. Get it nice and tight, and then you screw this bottom part, and it makes the bottom part of it expand out into the little ring that we just put in there, which gets it airtight. So that should be a good airtight fit. And right now there are 2 valves on them. We want to go ahead and close both of them. The one with the tube is going to be what sucks your new coolant in. This one is what the vacuum or your air compressor attaches to create a vacuum. This is the other piece that comes in the kit. It's got a quick disconnect. So that's what it's gonna look like attached. This back hose just goes to nowhere. It's gonna be the blow by, because your compressor is gonna blow air into here, and it's just gonna come out there, and that's what's gonna create a vacuum to draw the air out of your tank. All right, we can start with all 3 valves closed. That's the closed position when this makes a completed circuit kind of look between them. That means it's open, so closed. So So I'm just gonna go ahead and attach my air compressor here with another quick disconnect. All right, everything is hooked up and you can see that there is no pressure in the system right now. So we're gonna go ahead and open this one so it'll cause air to blow through there and get louder. And then we'll open this one to allow it to start drawing air out. So we want both of these open. As soon as we do that, we should see our pressure, our negative pressure start to build. So if you look under the car at the hoses, you can see this big vacuum hose here is now flat because all the air is being sucked out, and it will be replaced with coolant in just a minute. All right, it's been running for a couple minutes now. Negative 18, a little more than negative 18 is about all you're gonna probably be able to get. So after you see that not moving anymore, we can go ahead and turn off this one, and we can turn off both of those. All right, after you get it there, you can disconnect your air. My air had a slight leak in it there, so it was letting the pressure down, but once that's all tightened up, it should stay at that pressure. And if it drops at all, then you have a coolant leak somewhere. Mine, even after removing the air, was dropping a little bit, and I could listen around in here, and I could actually hear this pipe right here. Well, I couldn't tell what it was until I moved it. So I'm gonna move it and see if you can hear it. You hear that when I press on this, I get a little bit of an air leak. So I'm probably gonna go ahead and replace this pipe that comes right here. Looks like it's pretty easy to reach. So I don't know if it's just an old seal down there when it's in a certain position. It has a little bit of a leak, but if I just leave it like this where it is now, it is not leaking. All right, now I've got it back up here, left it here for a little bit. Seems pretty stable right there, almost negative 19. All right, now for the fun part, you get a clean bucket, you start cracking open these guys and fill up a bucket. Now mine's already pre-diluted. If you need to mix yours 50-50, make sure you use distilled water, not just tap water. All right, here is number 2. Make sure you're not splashing it in your eyes or on your car or anything like that. All right, I got 4 gallons in here, and I'm just gonna go ahead and raise this up a little bit. You just want to make sure that the hose that comes out of here will be able to reach all the way down into the bottom of your bucket, because you don't want it sucking air out. If it floats up on you, you can just hold it down once you start this, or clip it to the side or something, but yeah, just don't get air in there. So you've got a couple options. You can either just open it up and let it go, or there is air that is in this tube that you might want to purge out if you want to be super careful or anal about this. So if I just crack this open a tiny bit, you'll see the liquid coming, and I'm just opening this valve a tiny bit and closing it just until that gets right there. And then I'm gonna stop it. And now I'll attach my air up, suck out the air that we just let in, and then all of the air will be out of the system. Once you get your full vacuum back where you want it, just go ahead and shut these off, and you can actually just disconnect this from here because we won't need our air supply anymore. All right, so once we have that off, now all you do is open it up. And you can just open it full blast. Let it start sucking this stuff, and of course, make sure you keep that at the bottom. And we might go through more than this in this tank, so we're gonna go ahead and have another bottle ready, and when this starts getting low, like it's already low enough, I can add another gallon. All right, so you just leave it here until your negative pressure comes all the way back down to 0, and you should be good to go. I added 2 more gallons to it for a total of 6, and we still have almost half a bucket left. And you should be able to see that your hoses have reinflated and are now full of coolant. When it's all done, just go ahead and close this valve, and we can unscrew this to loosen it back up. There we go. Don't forget to take this with you. So now if all went well, you should be able to see the coolant level somewhere in the correct cold fill range. Go ahead and top it off as necessary. Don't forget to replace your cap, and we're all done on this side. Time to move over to the other side and do the exact same thing. There's only going to be two differences over here. First of all, you're going to need to use the 31 millimeter ring here, and it's a little bit loose, but once you put that in and tighten it up and it expands out, it'll make a good enough fit here. But you might notice that there is a vent hose here that's just not connected to anything. So you will never get a vacuum if you just leave this vent hose like it is, because this vent has a hole right here, so it's sucking air in from there, and this does not cover it up. So all you have to do is pinch this thing off. You can either plug it from the end, because it is an empty tube, or you can use vice grips, squeeze it, or you can use the correct tool to pinch off hoses. That looks like one of these guys. It's just plastic pliers, essentially, that you grab on, you squeeze it tight, you pull this thing down. This is what keeps it locked on there. So that way the hose is pinched off and no air is going to escape. For me, this I got to -23, almost -24, and is holding pressure there nicely. So maybe the other side, that pipe did have a little more of an air leak than I thought. But anyway, just disconnected that side. Open this one up, and we will let it receive all of the coolant on that side. All right, that's it. If you have any tips to help make this a better process, please comment below. And if this was helpful to you, please do take the time to give it a thumbs up, like the video, because it really does help the channel, helps the video get out there to people who want to see it. So I appreciate you all, and I will see you guys on the next video.